NERFFRAME. Why do I play this cash grab Barbie simulator of the game? There's only one reason, and that is power. There's no other game that I know of that makes you feel as powerful as you feel in Warframe. I'm talking about multiplayer games. Single player games, there's plenty. There's Skyrim, Fallout 4, Mass Effect, Dragon Age. Any of those RPG, single player RPG games, when you can become so incredibly broken by the end of the game that you can just nuke and destroy everything, you pretty much become a god. But single player game, they're so overtuned. Most of the games like World of Warcraft, ESO, Final Fantasy, Destiny, all of those games, they're so overtuned. You feel no power whatsoever. Remember, I'm not saying those games are bad. I'm saying I'm personally not a fan because they make you feel like a giant pussy the entire time. It takes you hours to kill one fucking boss. But in Warframe, you become so incredibly powerful that you can take any boss, any mission by yourself and just annihilate everything, which is why I love. But there's always nerfs, and the nerfs are usually so hardcore that anytime they touch something for balance, it becomes this unusable pile of shit for years. Um, and It's really interesting because when you watch the dev stream, there's always this fucking hypocrisy about how we don't want to take away your power fantasy, but at the same time, we don't want you to be overpower. I mean, what the fuck does that even mean? You either overpower, which is power fantasy, or you not, which is the nerf frame that they constantly fucking nerf and everything. And it doesn't just apply to digital extreme devs. Mostly it does to them because they're the fucking one doing the nerfing. But there's a community within a Warframe that complain constantly about other people using something that is really powerful, and they're just like, oh, I don't want them to use. And there's hundreds of posts. Well, this one's pretty funny though. I thought it was fun, hilarious when I read this. But you can look at there's hundreds of nerfs about all kind of please nerf this, please nerf this, please nerf this. Uh, can spin to and get nerfed a little bit. There's all this you're gonna see there's hundreds of posts about people constantly complaining about this fucking nonsense. I'm not talking about this post. This post is hilarious. I give it thumbs up. If I had a Reddit account, I don't, but I like to read a lot of Reddit stuff sometimes, Warframe related stuff. But yeah, it's so frustrating that there's just one good thing about the fucking game and they're constantly nerfing it. Like, why? You know what my vision of a frame is that some Dragon Ball Z shit when I just fly out on my ship within a Warframe in an open space and just shoot a fucking laser into one of those planets and just blow them up. This is the level of power I'm envisioning of Warframe, you know? Obviously, I'm exaggerating it, but this is what my vision of Warframe is, to be that incredibly powerful. Because there's only one reason. If it wasn't for power fantasy in this game, I would never touch this cash grab Barbie simulator of fucking game. Uh, you know what also is interesting is the whole trivializing fucking nonsense that the digital extreme like to spit out, and all the fucking people who complain about this was something overpower. Well, this thing is trivializing the game. Please nerf it. And they're just like, we don't want you to trivialize. The moment Warframe or a weapon trivializes the game, that's the only time I want to use something. Because if it wasn't for them being that powerful, I would never fucking use them. I mostly use Nidos, Inaros, Valkyr, Hildren, those insanely tanky frame that I can turn into immortal frames. I do not use any of those other squishy frames because I'm not a fan of dying. I'm not a fan of this weak kind of warframe, even though they can do a lot of damage with their actual abilities. I'm just not a fan of them. And yeah, it's really frustrating when they nerf stuff because why? And obviously, one of the reasons why is because you have a community within Warframe that is trying to make this game into another generic fucking game like, you know, any popular MMO when there's no power fantasy whatsoever. And I guess people like that kind of stuff, and I have nothing against it, but why you fucking complain within this game? That's my problem. Or, well, I don't want them to use it, man. If you don't want you're gonna go load in the mission and somebody using Ember or something, somebody you think is overpowered, leave the fucking mission, play solo, find a group. There's so many ways. All you're doing is just like, oh well, I don't want them to use it. That's what you're fucking doing. It's like fucking kids up there. I don't want them to use it because I don't like when they use it in my games. Fuck you. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this video. It's just a rant. It's just frustrating because the first new nerfs already coming in. They nerf that new one of the mark for dead, I believe, ability. I never use it only because I'm not a fan of this type of playstyle. I said this many in my videos. I'm not a fan of killing enemy with abilities because it's just too slow for me. Even though it's fast, I mean, like you have to find an enemy, you have to hit him, then you have to actually kill him, and then you spread that. I'm just not a fan of that kind of style. Even though I know some people are, even within my clan, there's a lot of people who have invested in that ability and they enjoy it. I personally like to make my warframe as tanky as I can, and mostly use weapons to kill shit, like melee weapons. And any warframe that can beef up my melee weapons, I will use them. But overall, I just make my warframe as tanky as possible and then kill shit. But you know what else is interesting? The whole trivialized point. If you think about Warframe is a little shooter, and you know what's the most fucking trivializing thing in this fucking game? Boosters. What's the biggest thing in looter shooter? That's the fucking loot, and the booster gives you double of the fucking loot. Technically, that fucking trivialized the shit out of the fucking game, isn't it? Because you gain way. Don't get me wrong. Don't remove them because it's always good to wait to get more fucking loot. But I'm just saying, if you look at the point, that's a fucking trivializing thing to the goddamn game. You're trivializing the fucking game by or any other boosters. All they're like insanely overpowered if you think about it. All the boosters are so overpowered. That's why. But no, we're making money out of it. We're not gonna nerf that shit. It's just frustrating to see them because I feel the same way. Where a bunch of those fucking posts about spin to win, people were complaining. You know how many ribbons I had? I have over fucking 100 something ribbons, and majority of them were melee ribbons. And I have reroll. I have several ribbons who I have reroll over 200 fucking times, and they were all about spin crit, spin to win crit. And the moment that fucking change come in, Melee 3.0, I have lost thousands of hours of investment. I have been completely fucking like bankrupt pretty much. If you look at a company who have invested so much in something, and then they just like all of a sudden the company said, "Well, we're no longer fucking selling this. Fuck you to all of you who bought this shit and invest so much for us." That's how it fucking feels every time they nerf something. You invest so much of your time, you do so much to play the game to get that one amazing thing, and just to get it fucking nerfed to the ground, and you just like out. You wasted fucking thousands of hours of your life that you've literally thousands of hours of your life that you have spent playing this fucking game. I won't be playing this game for a while because I have to go back to work and school. So yeah, I just wanted to make a little rant video. Watching all of those nerfs coming in, I'm glad I did invest. I think I did use the ability just to try it out on a couple of the warframes, but I wasn't really a fan because I'm generally not a fan of those types of abilities. But yeah, I'm glad I did invest in. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna be nerfing more shit anyway. So yeah, I don't know where this game is going, or I'm just waiting for the next single player RPG game where I know I can just become so powerful without any kind of fucking nerfs coming from the devs. It just sucks that there's not a lot of those types of games that I really enjoy, and the ones that they do, I have already spent so much time in them. So Cyberpunk probably gonna take me away from Warframe for a long ass time. We're talking about months and months until I finally get tired of it and then come back to Warframe and go through this fucking NERFFRAME shit show again. Probably gonna have to redo a lot of shit again. Yeah, that's it for this video. Just wanted to say I don't know what the fuck I want to say. Nerfing things, and there's only one good thing about this game, and that is Power Fantasy. There's nothing else good about this fucking game. Absolutely nothing. If you take over the Power Fantasy, it's a cash grab Barbie simulator. There's fucking fashion, and there's pay for this, pay for this, pay for this. Fuck no, you can't do this today. Pay for this, pay for this. That's what the fucking whole game is. If it wasn't for Power Fantasy, I would never fucking even touch this game. But it does has the one good thing going for it, unfortunately, and no other game appears to want to do it. Even action RPG these days, like Path of Exile and shit, are fucking shit show of a complete over nerfing everything to the ground where you get one shotted by everything. It's just ridiculous, and I don't know. But yeah, Warframe is just one thing going for it, and if they ever ruin the power fantasy, this game's gonna go to shit.